Characters in fairy tales. Choosing your characters is very important. They will help tell the story and develop the story you want to tell. So it's very important to think carefully about which characters you want to use. There are many different kinds of characters to choose from. You could choose animals, people, kings and queens, anything your imagination can come up with. Fairies, wizards, princes and princesses. It's up to you. During this presentation, we'll look at all the different kinds of characters you could choose. Many fairy tales include royalty as characters. That would mean they are kings or queens, princes or princesses. People of royalty hold a lot of power over other people. They are usually rich and usually live in a castle or a palace. Animals are also very important characters in fairy tales. You could have small, little cute animals or large, powerful, maybe even mean or aggressive animals. Animals in fairy tales usually can talk, and they can tell the story. It's up to you to decide how you would like to use animals in your fairy tale. The cool thing about using animals in your fairy tales is that you can have them be friends with people. They could wear clothes, they could talk, they could do lots of things that animals can't really do in real life. It's up to you to use your imagination. Of course, there are also just normal people in fairy tales too. They can be young, like children, or they could be a little bit older, or maybe very old, like a grandma or a grandpa. People usually have normal problems that they need to solve. The most important thing to remember if you choose people for your characters is to describe them. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Of course, some of the most fun characters to choose are magical characters. Now you really can use your imagination. You can choose fairies, fairy godmothers, maybe wizards, or you could just make up some ordinary people that have extraordinary powers, like maybe they could fly or do magic things. In addition to magical characters, you could also choose different types of evil characters. Evil characters mean these characters are usually doing bad things in the fairy tale and creating lots of problems. Different types of evil characters could be a monster, a witch who casts evil spells, a giant, maybe he's chasing someone, or the evil queen. She also could have magical powers. You could even look into the future and think about robots or creatures that are not even made up yet, but are in your imagination. No matter which characters you choose, the important thing while you're writing your fairy tale is that you think about these questions when you're writing about your characters. How do they look? How do they feel? What do they like? How do they cause the problem? How do they help solve the problem? When you're writing your sentences in your fairy tales, you need to include sentences that describe your characters and explain to the reader how your characters are causing the problem or helping find the solution.